Oh my goodness, where do we even start with the Panthers' performance? It was shocking, right? Absolutely not what I expected. Their offense just couldn't get it together. Only 175 total yards for the entire game. That's insane. You'd think they'd try to make some noise, but man, they just sort of faded away. Bryce Young, oh boy, the guy couldn't penetrate the Saints' defense. Completing 17 out of 25 passes for just 102 yards isn't cutting it. I mean, come on, a 62.8 quarterback rating? And then there was that interception. Just brutal. The rushing game wasn't any better. Rico Dowdle, despite his early touchdown, was basically nowhere to be found after that. Just 10 rushing yards on 18 attempts? That's outrageously inefficient. It was like they just couldn't establish any rhythm, especially on third downs, converting only 3 out of 9. So here's the deal, folks. The Panthers' defensive struggles were glaring too, and there's so much more to unpack here. If you're as stunned by this game as I am, you'll want to subscribe to catch all our insights and breakdowns. Hit that bell and stay in the loop. Alright, so let's switch gears now and talk about Tyler Shough, who was just remarkable today. I mean, seriously, where do you start with this guy's performance? Right from the get-go, it was clear he was locked in. Completing 19 out of 27 passes for a whopping 266 yards is no joke, folks. And those 2 jaw-dropping touchdown passes, simply sensational. That 62-yard bomb to Chris Olave in the second quarter, I mean, come on, you couldn't write it any better. It was a game changer, a total momentum shifter, and Shough absolutely capitalized on the Panthers' defensive blunder there. And then, as if that wasn't enough, he delivers yet another clutch throw. A 30-yard laser to Juwan Johnson in the fourth, you'd think he was doing it in his sleep. What's so baffling is how composed he remained under pressure. Even after being sacked twice, Shough didn't back down. No way. He kept the ball moving, kept his team believing, and managed the game like a seasoned pro. The guy's poise and leadership were on full display, and it's these qualities that keep the offense ticking over so smoothly. Now, seeing this level of performance begs the question, are we witnessing a potential new star in the NFL? Because if Shough keeps playing like this, the sky's the limit. It feels like he's becoming the heartbeat of the Saints' offense and maybe, just maybe, the anchor they need to push on to bigger things this season. Now, shifting from the highs of the Saints' victory to the struggles of the Panthers, it's a bit jarring, to be honest. I mean, where do you even start with Carolina's offense right now? Watching it felt like a masterclass in how not to execute a game plan, right? Unfortunately, Bryce Young's performance was underwhelming, completing just 17 of his 25 passes for a dim 102 yards. And here's the thing, it's not even just about him. It seems like the offensive line just couldn't protect him adequately. You know? He was constantly under pressure, sacked twice with one of those leading to an interception. It's like, you've got to wonder what's going on with their protection schemes. And man, the run game was basically non-existent. Rico Dowdle might have gotten into the end zone early on, sure, but 10 rushing yards on 18 attempts? That's not going to cut it against any defense, let alone one that's dialed in like the Saints. And those third downs? Only converting 3 out of 9? That lack of execution is huge. It's ridiculous. Inconsistencies on critical downs contributed massively to their downfall. And we're not just talking about yards here, it's momentum, it's rhythm, it's the ability to sustain drives. They just didn't have it. The Panthers need to seriously reevaluate their offensive dynamics because something's just not clicking. You can't keep going like this if you want any chance of turning the season around. Alright, switching gears, now let's talk about the New Orleans Saints and how they, unlike the Panthers, absolutely got their tactics right this time. They seem to have a clear plan against the Panthers, and boy did it show. You've got to hand it to them, really, their execution on both ends was spot on. The way they mixed it up with a good balance of passing and rushing plays kept the Panthers' defense guessing all night. It was like they were playing chess while the Panthers played checkers, you know what I mean? Now let's get into some specifics. Tyler Shough's performance was sensational, no doubt, but this was a real team effort. The offensive line provided him room to breathe, allowing him to display his accuracy and composure. Those critical passes to Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson were lethal, particularly that 62-yard bomb that totally flipped the game's momentum. And let's not forget, the Saints managed to keep the clock running with smart ball possession, giving them control over the tempo the entire match. And defensively, you've got to appreciate how they kept Carolina to just 7 points. The pressure they applied was consistent enough to rattle the Panthers' offensive line, and those quick, effective changes by the coaching staff, absolutely crucial. They really dampened any hopes the Panthers had of finding rhythm. Bottom line, that was a masterclass in tactical execution from the Saints. They've got something solid growing here, and it could be the cornerstone for more wins down the line. So speaking of standout plays and incredible execution, you just can't ignore Chris Olave's impactful performance in this match. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how his dynamic presence uplifted the Saints' offensive unit against the Panthers. Olave wasn't just playing, he was orchestrating an offensive symphony alongside Tyler Shough, and it was amazing to watch. Take that 62-yard touchdown reception, oh my goodness, it was a thing of beauty. Talk about changing the momentum. Shough throws a perfect dart with Olave zipping past defenders like a blur. You could feel the energy shift, right? That chemistry between them, it's electric, and it shows how crucial Olave is becoming to this team. But here's the thing, Olave wasn't just in the spotlight for that one play. With 5 receptions on 8 targets racking up 104 yards, this guy was relentless, consistently stretching the field and drawing in defenders. And check this stat. A crazy 20.8 yards per reception. Ridiculous, right? His ability to open up the field, I mean, it not only boosts the Saints' versatility, but also gives his teammates a little breathing room to exploit. And think about it, this isn't just a one-game wonder. Olave is becoming a key strategic piece for the Saints moving forward. He's rapidly establishing himself as not just a deep threat, but an all-round contributor. And honestly, I can't wait to see how this unfolds as the season progresses. His potential is just mind-blowing. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's look ahead to what's next for both the Panthers and the Saints following this intense matchup. Starting with Carolina, man, it looks like they've got some serious work to do. I mean, their offensive inefficiencies were glaring, and if they want to turn their season around, they've got to address these issues pronto. You've got to think about Bryce Young. He's got potential, no doubt. But without better protection and smarter play calling, he's not going to be able to shine. Those turnovers have been a killer, right? So you'd expect they need to tighten up there and reevaluate some defensive strategies that just didn't cut it against the Saints. On the flip side, the New Orleans Saints are riding high right now, and it's all about building on this momentum. They've shown they can deliver under pressure, and the consistency they displayed against the Panthers needs to be the new norm. Tyler Shough, wow, that guy's performance was just insane. Along with Olave, they formed this duo that could keep defenses guessing. The key is maintaining player fitness, managing injuries smartly, and keeping things fresh and unpredictable in their game approach. So it's a pivotal time for both teams. For the Panthers, it's about rebuilding and re-strategizing. For the Saints, consolidation and maintaining the rhythm is crucial as they look to keep climbing up the rankings. Both have important steps to take as the season progresses, no question about it. So after watching that game, you could tell right from the get-go just how crucial this win was for the Saints. And honestly, they turned a lot of heads. It wasn't just about sneaking past the Panthers, it was about showing everyone how strategically versatile they can be moving forward. They neutralized Carolina's key threats and maintained a poise that suggests they're set for something big this season. But let's not shy away from the harsher truths. This was also a slap back to reality for the Panthers. They've got to dig deep to find answers, especially on offense, if they want to salvage something from this season. Listen, we all know it's a long season, and these games are stepping stones or stumbling blocks, you know what I mean? The Panthers need to get their act together pronto, while the Saints should not rest on their laurels. This game has to be a catalyst for change and improvement for both sides. Now, here's what I'm curious about. What do you all think? Are the Saints the real deal this season? Can the Panthers bounce back? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's hash it out. And hey, if you're digging these analyses, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss a beat of our ongoing NFL journey. Thanks for hanging out with us, and let's keep the conversation rolling.